Hey girls, had a lot of questions this week about handling the weekend. When we did check-ins, some of you were having a little bit of a problem over the weekend with your tracking and kind of how to tackle things because you're not in your normal everyday Monday through Friday routine. So I just want to take about 5 minutes, give you a couple of ways to handle that. So first and foremost, when you're out of your weekly routine, planning is the most important thing. I really can't stress that enough. So you really have to try and plan your weekend as much as you can. Yes, there are always a lot of unknowns that come up over the weekend, but if you plan the best that you can, usually it all turns out okay. All right, so if you know your plans, let's take a Saturday or a Sunday, you know your plans, you're gonna go to a restaurant. Best thing to do is pull up the website of the restaurant, look and see what their options are, choose something that will fit into your macros or put that in the first thing. Normally what I will do is if I know where I'm going to eat on the weekend, I will go to that restaurant's website, choose what I'm going to have for dinner, know what I'm going to drink. If I'm drinking alcohol, put that in my FitnessPal first and plan the rest of my day around it. That way I can have whatever I want at the restaurant to eat and drink and then just plan my rest of the day around it. That's the easiest way. If you're going to a friend's house, you're going to a party, try and find out what's being served. You can find out what's being served, you can do the same thing. Put in those foods that you want to eat and then plan the rest of your day around that event or party or whatever it is. If you're taking the kids out somewhere, make those plans first in your MyFitnessPal, work the rest of your day around it. This is the easiest way to do it because then you're not getting to that place or event and you've had a big breakfast, you've had a decent lunch, and now you want to have some treats or some good stuff and you don't have the macros or the numbers left over. So put those things in first and then plan the rest of your day around those things. That's totally the easiest way to do it. Alcohol. So alcohol, you cannot go by what is on the bottle. So alcohol, it's your calories, your total calories divided by 4. Okay, so alcohol, when you're calculating it yourself, you're going to calculate it and count it as all carbs. Okay, you can download an app. It's called WAG, W-A-G, which stands for Working Against Gravity, WAG Alcohol Calculator. That will calculate your alcohol macros for you, and it will divide it up, if you'd like to, between fat and carbs. And it's like kind of a scale, and you move it around and it will calculate it for you as long as you put the calories in there. That is what I use because I like to not use all of my alcohol toward carbs. I like to divide it between both. So with alcohol, it's your total calories divided by 4, and you'll count that as your carbs. Okay, so if you don't know where you're eating or you have some kind of event, a wedding, a party, there's a lot of unknowns. You don't know what's being served. You're not sure where you're going to eat. What you do in that case is the first part of the day, you make very low carb, have mostly protein and a little bit of fat for your first part of the day. Save most of your carbs or a lot of your carbs and fat for when you're out that evening. Because honestly, no matter what kind of event you go to or what kind of restaurant or things like that you go to, it's mostly carbs and fat that we consume when we're out and away from home. So if you get in the bulk of your protein or a lot of your protein in the beginning of the day, then you have all of the carbs and the fat, or most of them, to kind of play with. So in that case, if you can't track wherever it is that you're going or where you are, you can kind of loosely track. So you just need to be mindful, basically. So when you get there, let's say you have 40 grams of protein and you have 80 grams of carbs and 30 grams of fat left or 20 grams of fat left. Okay, I know that in my head, so as I'm eating and drinking, I can kind of keep track. So be mindful, yes, you're not going to hit your numbers head on. You may not get within 5 up or down, but this is flexible eating. And, if this happens occasionally, it happens occasionally. You have to live. Don't get so anal with this that, if you're doing great and you're consistently hitting your numbers, once in a while, if something like this comes up, you have an event to go to, you have a party to go to, sometimes it's not going to work out exactly perfectly the way you want to, and you just need to be okay with that. In the scheme of things, is it going to throw you way off? Absolutely not. If it happens all the time, yes. If you're not hitting the numbers all the time, yes, of course you're not going to get the results. But once in a while, it's really not a problem. Take my word for it. Okay, for you ladies with Shabbos. All right, so for you, I think the best way for you to approach that is, again, planning is really super key for you women. If you can plan what you're going to have for that 24-hour period ahead of time, put it in MyFitnessPal, calculate it all out, know what you're going to have. Start with, first thing you want to put in is all of the foods that you're going to eat that are, your traditional, your customary foods, the things that you guys have all the time during your Sabbath. Put those in first, no matter what it is, and then work the rest of your day around those. I know you have like specific meals and certain things that you have. Work the rest of your day around that. And I guess the easiest way for you is after you have it all put into MyFitnessPal, you're probably going to need to write it out and have it on a piece of paper so that, you have that with you or somewhere where you can refer to it during, that period of time where you're not on your computer or on your phone. At least you have it printed out or you have it copied or written down. And you've got your plan, and then just stick with your plan. So I think that's probably the best way for you ladies to handle that. So I just wanted to quickly go over a little bit on that when the weekend comes. So this weekend, remember, planning is super key. Plan your days around your events, around your dinners, parties, whatever it is that you're having, and you'll do fine. Have a great day.